no Egyptian. Tell them for guan, eviction. This one, yeah, it's had a bad gal edition. See them gal there?
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm just going to be doing a tutorial on a bronze glam look with a bit of glitter as well. If you like the look, make sure you keep watching. Thank you. So first I'm going to be using my MAC Fix Plus Prep and Prime Spray all over my face, and then I'm going to be taking my Barry primer, applying this all over my face, then just rubbing it in. This will just keep my foundation on all day as well as my makeup. And then using my L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour foundation, I'm going to apply that straight to my face, and then with using my angled foundation brush, I'm just going to buff that into the skin. I'm going to be blending it into my neck as well and down to where my top goes, just so that it all blends in and that I look the same colour. Once blending all my foundation in, I'm going to be taking my MUA Cover and Conceal Concealer in the shade Light, just applying that under my eyes in a triangle shape, and then I'm going to be applying it on the bridge of my nose, on my cupid's bow, on the bottom of my chin, and in the middle of my forehead. I'll then be blending this in with the Beauty Blender. I'll then be using my NYX HD finishing powder and taking my e.l.f. triangle sponge. I'm just going to spray that with the Fix Plus MAC spray, and then I'll be applying my powder underneath my eyes to bake. I'm just spraying it with the Fix Plus because it applies it much better and keeps it on and just sets it better. Once leaving this on for a couple minutes, I then dust it off with a fluffy brush. I'm then going to take my Urban Decay eyeshadow priming potion. I'm just going to be putting this on top of my eyelids just to prime my eyelids before applying eyeshadow. I do just rub my eye primer in with my fingers just because I feel like it blends in much better and sets it much better than a brush does. I'm then taking my Naked One Urban Decay palette and my Real Techniques fluffy brush, and then I'm just going to be taking the shade Naked and applying that all over my eyelid just as a transition colour and just as a good first base colour. I'm then going to be taking the shade Smog from the palette, which is quite a bronzy shimmer shade, just applying that on the outer corner of my lid and then slowly blending that into the inner corner and the centre of my eyelid. I'm going to be basing this mainly on the outer corner just to give it more of a smoky eye before applying the glitter a bit later on. Then taking a darker shimmer shade of the palette, which is called Hustle. This is more of a darker brown. I'm then going to be focusing this mainly on the outer corner again, just making that outer corner a bit darker but still adding the shimmer, and then slowly blending it into the inner corner as well so it is blended. With these eyeshadows you do need to make sure, well, with any eyeshadow, that you blend it properly so that you don't get any harsh lines. Blend in your eyeshadow, just make it look naturally blended, and just make it look much more smoother rather than having lots of different separate colours blocked. It just won't look as nice as if it's all blended in nicely together. Then taking the concealer that I used at the beginning of the video for my under eyes, I'm going to be using again the MUA Cover and Conceal concealer in the shade Light, and I'm just applying this to my eyelid, framing out literally just the eyelid, covering the eyeshadow that I've put on so that I can apply my glitter glue after and the glitter. I think it's much easier to apply the concealer using a flat brush rather than a fluffy brush, as you can really get into the parts that you want to get and carve out the shape that you need. I'm then going to be taking my glitter fixture, which is just my glitter glue. I'm going to be applying this directly on top of the concealer that I've just carved out on my eyelid. I'm just going to be putting that straight on with the brush that's provided with the glitter glue. I'm then going to be taking this pot of glitter. This is quite a bronzy colour and it is quite dark, but it's quite a nice goldy bronze. I'm just going to be using a flat brush once again on my eyelid. I'm placing that directly on top of the concealer and glitter glue that I've just placed on the lid. I'm then just going to be pushing it in rather than brushing it, because if you brush the glitter on, it will obviously wipe off the glitter. It will ruin the carved out look that you've just made. Once I've applied the glitter onto my eyelid, I'm then going to be taking my fluffy brush once again from Real Techniques and getting the shade Hustle like I did earlier, which was the darker brown, on the outer corner, and just gently placing that on the outer corner just to blend in the eyeshadow and the glitter. I'm then taking the same Hustle from the Urban Decay palette, taking my flat Urban Decay brush and putting that on my bottom lash line just to blend that out with the outer corner shade. So I have now done my mascara and eyelashes off camera, as you probably are used to my routine by now. I'm now going to be using my Hide and Chic Barry M palette. I'm going to be taking the red blush shade, just applying that on the apples of my cheeks. I'm only going to be using a little bit of this because this is a bronze look, so I'm going to be concentrating more on the bronzer than the blush, but this will just give it more of a natural look. I'm then going to be applying my bronzer with the bronzing shade of the palette and my Real Techniques brush. I'm now going to be using my Beat the Blues liquid highlight. I haven't actually used this yet, but it looks like it would be a good colour for this video as it's a golden colour. I just placed a couple dots on my cheekbones and just tapped that in with my fingers. This did seem to leave quite a nice glow. I did realise you did have to tap this quite a lot just to blend in, as it is a liquid, and I do find that with some liquid highlights I need to tap it in a little bit more, but it's better to tap than rub, because if you rub it then you'll be rubbing your foundation off as well. I'm then going to be taking my Collection Gorgeous Glow highlighter. This has different shades in it, so for this look I did just use the lighter shade, used a little fluffy brush and just went over the liquid highlight, and this makes it a bigger glow. Obviously if you want quite a subtle look then you can just use one highlight, but I like to use a liquid and then a powder if I want more of a glow. And then just using my True Bound K Kylie Cosmetics liquid lipstick and applying that to my lips. This one is quite drying because her darker lipsticks do seem to dry quite quickly, like I've said in a previous video. I think in my Coco Collection swatches and review I did say that the darker colours are much harder to remove and they are quicker drying, but sometimes that isn't a bad thing. You just need to be careful how you apply it and don't overlayer it. I'm then using Kylie Cosmetics King K. This is one of her metallic shades. I'm just going to be placing that in the centre of my lips and then blending that out just with my finger just to make an ombre effect. I'm going to be setting my foundation and makeup with the Avon makeup setting spray. Hi guys, thank you for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, please remember to like and subscribe and comment any ideas or any advice you have for me. Any videos you want to see in the future, please comment them in the comments. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in my next video.